Rashimasei, hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Try from Japan, the video series where we look at all things Japanese, and today I am behind the camera, so you're just going to see my arms as we look at a mystery box of sorts. So this was an eBay listing that I purchased, and it was for 40 assorted Japanese import Laserdiscs. So the listing itself didn't show any of the titles other than the first one in the box. And so I've taken a chance. Hopefully we get some interesting finds. I really don't have any idea what we're going to find in this box, so maybe some things I recognise, maybe some things I have no clue about. The idea is that we can go through each of them and have a look at them individually and see what I've got. And obviously I will edit the video later and pop in little details about what each of the discs are about if I am unsure about them at the time. So let's go ahead and cut open the box and see what we've got inside. Okay, so first out of the box is this lovely, I don't know, you can kind of see it, it's got a very much sort of like a holographic rainbow effect pattern to it. And it's called Princess, Let's Get Crazy Live. Okay, so this sounds like it's potentially a musical disc. So on the side, Let's Get Crazy Live at. And the back, you got 9 tracks, so I'm guessing it's 9 songs. Some of them in English, obviously, and some of them in Japanese. So it is 50 minutes NTSC colour. And if we open it, okay, so it's definitely a music band. It looks a bit like an all-girl band, very sort of hair metal look to the girls on the inside. I'm presuming they're called Princess, and those are the names of the band members and what they do. I'm guessing this sort of logo is the Princess logo, maybe. Well, actually, I've only just noticed this, but the logo actually forms words, so it says Princess Budokan, so I'm guessing it's live at Budokan. And then it is a single disc. Single double-sided disc. Does it have an insert or anything? It does. So in the second part of the gatefold, it's got a single sheet. Folds open. So there we go. It's obviously the crowd at the event. Gives you credit stuff for the concert itself. And then flip them over. Again, you've got the track listings, and then in Japanese you have the lyrics to each of the songs. So Princess, the first disc. Okay, what we got next? Crystal Eyes. Okay. The best surfing on film, the best windsurfing on film, the best body surfing on film, the best bodyboarding on film. Okay, so is this a film or is this footage of water sports? Interesting sort of illustrated pin-up style lady on the front cover, sitting on, I presume, a surfboard. Flip it over to the back then. Okay. Oh, no, it's a film by Yuri Forant, whoever that is. Never heard of him. Crystal Eyes, starring Mark Richards, Sean Thompson, Michael Ho, and etc. etc. I'm not going to read them all out. I'm guessing these are potentially professional water sports people. Copyright 1983 by the Laidback Corporation. And then it's got quite a few tracks on each of the sides. I'm guessing that maybe this is footage of professional water sports with accompanying music for each of the sections. That's what I would guess by these tracks, and I guess the composers of each of the tracks. So that's what my presumption is. So, we've got inside single disc. Any insert at all in this one? Nope, nothing inside this one. It is a rare event. They usually have something inside them. Not everyone, admittedly, but they usually have something inside them. So that is Crystal Eyes by Pony Video Disc. Again, it could be quite intriguing. Never seen anything like it previously. Right, what's number 3? Okay, here we go. So this is a laser karaoke disc. So obviously karaoke is a big thing in Japan, and the Laserdisc kind of made it explode because it had the ability obviously to have video tracks with subtitles, so you could provide the lyrics to the performances, but it also allowed you to choose exactly which track you wanted to play. So obviously previously with things like VHS, you would never have been able to just jump to a certain part of the video, whereas the track skipping chapter function on the Laserdiscs made them great for things like laser karaoke, where you could specifically choose a particular track you wanted to listen to and you could jump straight to it. So there was very big laser karaoke players which were specifically set up to have microphones attached, etc., to set up to a sound system to allow you to play a laser karaoke disc and chapter select, etc., to choose the tracks that you wanted. So this will potentially play on a regular Laserdisc player. Obviously you can just use the chapter function to choose which track you want, and it should still display the tracks on screen. So as I have heard about these previously, a lot of them come with 2 audio tracks. So it will have a basic instrumental track, and it will have another track which also has the singing on there. So if you are unfamiliar with a certain song, you can still play the person singing the lyrics to get used to how it's supposed to sound, and then play it again without the lyrics and just the instrumental afterwards. Okay, so I'm guessing these are a couple of the stars who are potentially singing some of the tracks on this compilation. Flip over to the back, and I'm guessing that means there is 10 tracks on this particular disc. 46 in the corner suggests that this is the 46th laser karaoke disc in the series. It's one side and 44 minutes in total. And again, yeah, so we've got the multi-audio there, which is what I was talking about, where it can have the instrumental track or the singing track. Disc, standard disc inside. Yep, it does have a slip. Okay, so this, although it will have, I imagine, the lyrics on screen to tell you when to sing along and what to sing, it also has the lyrics on the sheet inside. Okay, so this is the first laser karaoke disc that I have obtained myself, so it will be interesting certainly to see how these play. I probably won't know many of the songs, especially if they are all in Japanese, but they'll be interesting nonetheless, especially to see what videos they have chosen to accompany them, because a lot of these didn't have original music videos, so they will have created a related music video to play along with the track. So this is another one, but this one is for demonstration only, so I'm guessing that in the showrooms when they were trying to sell the laser karaoke players, they would have used a disc like this to demonstrate how the laser karaoke worked and looked. So this is potentially just, so if you flip over to the back, there's 15 chapters on this one, so 15 tracks in total. Whether they are complete tracks or whether they are just portions of the tracks, if it's a demo it may just flick from track to track to give you an example of the different types of music that you can have on these karaoke discs. Yeah, so it's just 23 minutes, so I imagine it's just part of each track. It would be very short to fit 15 songs on a 23-minute disc. So it is probably, as it says, just a demonstration of various songs you can get on it. And no insert inside, just the standard one disc. It does say not for sale. How many times have people obtained promos and demos and rental copies of things where it says not for sale, but obviously at some point in time they were. Okay, what's next in the box? Walt Disney home video release with the character Goofy on the front there, holding a vast range of sports equipment. So he's obviously got a bag full of golf clubs, a fishing rod, potentially tennis rackets on his back. So is this going to be a disc of cartoons related to sports? Might just be a selection of Goofy cartoons. 1, 2, 3, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's potentially 4 cartoons on here, all related to Goofy, and it tells you the names of each of the cartoons on there. It shows you that there are other ones available in this collection as well. So this one looks like it's Christmas, and you've got the characters in a hot water balloon basket. You've got Donald Duck there, the boat. You've got Pluto the dog, and the bee on his nose, and at the bottom you've got Winnie the Pooh. So the disc itself, standard one-sided disc. Oh, and there is something in here. Oh, okay. So it is a colouring sheet of the image from the front cover for you to colour in your own leisure. No handouts or descriptions or anything about the cartoons themselves inside. That's kind of interesting. As I said, I didn't know what to expect with this, but I kind of wasn't expecting anything Disney. And it's kind of an interesting little compilation of Goofy cartoons. Right, so what is next? Now I can see from here that it says Walt Disney on the top, so yeah, so it's another one in this collection. So this time it is Donald Duck with Chip and Dale. The chipmunks seem to be carrying a little toy sailing boat. Flip it over to the back, so exactly the same, I presume, as the previous one. You've got 4 cartoons which all involve Donald Duck in some manner, and potentially the chipmunks in one of the cartoons. So looking at that screenshot, you've got the same description of the other discs on the Obi on the side there, and again 28 minutes one-sided, so I'm guessing it's going to be essentially the same as the Goofy one. So we've got the disc, one disc. Oh, that's a shame. I'm guessing it was supposed to have another colouring sheet of Donald Duck, but unfortunately the colouring sheet is not in this, but I'm sure it would have had that image on the front for you to colour in. Right, what's next? Another Disney and this time it is the Pluto, the dog, with a bee balanced on his nose. So essentially exactly the same as what we've just had. Yep, again 4 cartoons all featuring Pluto the dog, the same 5 that you can collect on the Obi spine, and this one is 28 minutes, one-sided. Will it have a colouring sheet inside? Oh, okay, right, so we've hit a dilemma. So this is actually, inside this protective sleeve, it's actually still sealed in its own sleeve that it originally came in. So this one hasn't even been opened before. So the likelihood of it having a colouring insert is very high. So some people will probably hate me for doing this, but I am going to break the seal for the first time since it was released, just so we can have a look at the disc and the insert. Apologies, trying to do this on camera, quite up close. Slice it open. Yep, so standard disc inside, and then we have, yep, so colouring sheet of Pluto with the bee balanced on his nose as the image on the cover. Cool, I'm just going to put it to the side to save time. And okay, we have another one. So this is the gang in the hot air balloon, but as previously. Okay, so on the back here it does say it still has 4 cartoons, but there is only screenshots from 2 of them. And it's a 30-minute disc in total, so one-sided, 30 minutes. Let's have a look and see inside whether it has A, been opened, and B, does it have the insert. Okay, so it's been opened, and one disc and one colouring page. Alright, the next one in the disc isn't a Walt Disney one by the look of it, so unless we get further in the box the Winnie the Pooh one, we do have 4 out of the 5 advertised. It would be nice to have the Winnie the Pooh one as well, wouldn't it? But have to wait and see what happens, I guess. So what is next? Okay, so this is something completely different. Les Parapluies de Cherbourg. Apologies for anyone on the pronunciation of that French title. There's 2 actors in it. I'm guessing this is a film, maybe a French film, maybe a musical or opera or something. I don't know. I can't actually say I've ever heard of it to know what it is. Sure, some of you may have heard or seen of this before. 91 minutes colour if it focuses. So, single disc with, oh, it does have an insert. Okay, right, so we've got some screenshots from what I presume is the film, and a blurb in Japanese about the film itself, I would figure, and this will tell you the cast, etc. And then nothing on the back. Okay, so I do not know anything about this film. I don't know whether it is in French or not. Right. What do we have next? Okay, another potential concert. One day, the Kawata Band rock concert at Toho Studio, the 19th of October 1986. So all the information you could ever want on that sleeve tells you exactly who it is, what it is, and when it was recorded. So there's no need to look this up. I obviously haven't heard of the Kawata Band. I'm not familiar with many sort of early J-rock, J-pop. So again, this will be intriguing to watch. There's a cool sort of action screenshot from the concert, I presume, on the back there. And then the track listings. Okay, so track 1 on side 1 is Smoke on the Water, which I am presuming is the Deep Purple track potential cover version, so that'll be interesting to find. I mean, there's a few others on there that might be covers, like Devil Woman might be a cover. Paravoid, is that a spelling mistake and it should be the Black Sabbath song Paranoid, or is it actually a different song called Paravoid? I will have to look into this and find out. But yeah, let's look inside. So it's a standard single disc. Has it got an insert? It does. Look at that. Okay, so those are the members of the Kuwata band. So again, it tells you their names and what they do as part of the band. And then the track listings on both sides. So quite a few tracks on this one. Flip it over to the back, and there's another image from the concert, probably from the end of the concert, where they're saying thank you to the crowd, and then all of the cast and crew, etc., that are involved in the concert itself. And then opening it up, we have the lyrics. Okay, so we should be able to tell. Yep, so Smoke on the Water is definitely the Deep Purple song that most people will be familiar with. It's one of those songs that if you're learning to play the guitar, it's a riff that most people are taught quite early on. Let's see if we can find that Paravoid. Where is it? Apologies. Paravoid. Oh no, it's not. It's actually called Paravoid. It does look like it's an original song by the Kuwata band if you look at who it's by and who wrote it. Tommy Snyder, Kuwata band. So there's a completely different track. I was under the impression that it could potentially have been a cover version that's spelt wrong on the sleeve, but yeah. Okay, another one that will be intriguing to look into and give them a listen, see what they sound like. The Kuwata band. Right. Okay, next we've got some form of anime. Oh, I know this anime says Urasayatsura. That's the name of the anime. What is this? Urasayatsura Karaoke Music Parade. Okay, so I mean, this is potentially a karaoke disc. It's either going to be a karaoke disc based on songs that have featured in the anime, maybe like the opening and closing theme, etc. Or it could be random karaoke tracks with the characters singing them. I'm certainly intrigued by this one. So what have we got? 8 tracks on either side. Stuff for in 1989. I'm going to have to watch it or listen to it at least to find out exactly what this is about, whether it is original songs or whether it is videos for karaoke songs. What have we got inside? We've got a few bits in here. Have a look at it. Okay, so this is the Kitty Friendly Club. So this is a sheet that talks about various merch that has been released by the look at it that you can buy. Music calendar from 1990. I don't know how a music calendar works or what a music calendar is, unless it was just simply a standard calendar that came with a CD potentially. Flip over to the back, and again some more stuff. CD, etc. And some more releases. It's kind of interesting to have that. And then the insert itself. So a screenshot from each of the tracks. Okay, so it's not like a performance thing then, by the look of it. It does look like maybe it's scenes from the anime with karaoke words on the screen for the potential tracks. And then inside, there we go, so we've got all of the tracks and we have the lyrics, so any of the songs that are in English, I presume, have been given English translations. Oh, again, I wasn't really expecting any anime content in there, so that's nice to have, even if it is more music related than episodes. Yeah, Urasai Yatsura Karaoke Music Parade. Interesting. Right, what we got next? I'm going to have a jump cut in a second so I can move the discs that are off the table. Okay, so Fantasia. That's quite cool. Walt Disney's masterpiece Fantasia. So obviously that was a big musical animation. Fantasia. Most people will probably know The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is this Mickey Mouse section from Fantasia, where he makes the brooms dance and sweep and clean. I'm sure you have heard or seen of that section, even if you haven't seen the whole Fantasia movie. It's 117 minutes, 2 discs, 3 sides, from 1940. I didn't realise Fantasia was so old. I did not realise Fantasia was from the 40s. So flipping it over to the back, and it has the sections and obviously the music that is accompanying the sections. Let's have a look inside. Nice gatefold sleeve with images from, well, I guess you would call it a movie, even though obviously they are individual elements animated to music. And a little bit of information about Walt Disney himself and the animators. What have we got inside? So I do have that as standard. Okay, so lots of information about Fantasia itself and about the musical tracks and when they were recorded and who they were recorded by originally. Okay, so yeah, I was not expecting as I said, I wasn't expecting any sort of big stuff like Disney discs in here, but yeah, Walt Disney's Fantasia. Very cool. Right, I'm going to take a quick jump cut so I can move these discs off the table and make some space, and then I will be back. Okay, the table is clear. Let's get on and see what else we've got. Okay, so Magritte. So, if this is what I am thinking, there was a surrealist artist called René Magritte, and this may be something related to his works. It says it's a Laserdisc sample, so this is something that would have been sent out as a promo. Art Film Gallery, so yeah, I think we're looking at a look at some pieces by Magritte with probably accompanying music to go along with it. Let's have a look. So 2-sided 54 minutes bilingual. Okay, so it's going to have multiple languages. Flip it over to the back. There we go. So there's a shot of a piece of his work, and there's the man himself, René Magritte, or Monsieur René Magritte, because he was a film by Adrian Mabon, music by Bella Bartok and Roger Waters. Okay, I've heard of Roger Waters before. Pink Floyd guy. Copyright 1989. 11, 6 and 7 track wise. So looking inside. Yep. You can see this one unfortunately is starting to get a little bit of water damage or mould on the handout itself. Information about each of the pieces. And more detailed information inside. So, got all the information you could possibly want about his pieces and the years in which he released them. Yeah, that was another little bit of fun. Some musical tracks accompanying some potentially cool surrealist artwork. Right, what is next? Too Much Twist. Sharism 7, Volume 8, the Kome Club. Okay, right, so I have actually heard of Kome Club. So they were kind of like a pop, punk, funk band. I think they did quite a bit of stuff in the 80s and then have reappeared recently. They like to wear crazy costumes. I think they did like a parody hentai style video for one of their recent music tracks, which is kind of how I am familiar with them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 tracks in total. I don't know whether this is a live concert or whether these are music videos. Not entirely sure. Inside. Yep. There we go. So those are the guys and girls that make up Kome Club. I don't think all of the members are still in it now. I don't remember them being that many people in the most recent thing that I saw. So this is obviously an older thing. And those are the tracks that they are singing. Funk A, Chapter 9. Looking forward to listening to some and seeing some of this. Oh, there we go. So it is a concert, potentially, by the look of it then. There's a shot of the band playing on stage. With some interesting attire for the lead singer there. And then again, cast and stage, etc. People that helped out with the concert for sure. Presented by Sharism. Nice. Again, it's interesting to have something from an artist that I have heard of as well. So yes, Too Much Twist by a band called the Kome Club. Right, what have we got next? Picked up two at the same time here. Katsuhisa Hattori, the video to Twilight Blue. Okay, So this could be another one of the art to music discs, just judging by the front cover there. I'm not sure who Katsuhisa Hattori is, so I don't know whether that's artist or composer. Yeah, judging by the track names on the back. Music by Katsuhisa Hattori. There we go, that answers my question. So he would be a musical composer. Everyone's heard adagio for strings on things before. So that's obviously a cover version. I don't know, I'm intrigued to see whether he's a piano player or what he is. And then a picture of the New York skyline when the Twin Towers were still standing on the back. So I'm guessing that the images composed, the images that go with the videos, aren't necessarily all from the Japanese regions, and no insert or anything inside this one. So yeah, the video too, so I am presuming that there was at least a video 1 at some point, of a separate compilation. But yeah, it's interesting. Got next, it looks like another music one, potentially another concert. The 8th anniversary of Akina East. Akina East Live, Index 23. I haven't heard of Akina East. It's a name that is familiar, but it might just be that it sounds familiar because it sounds like something else rather than I actually have heard of her. Akina East. Some shots of her singing on the back. So I'm guessing this is a concert, and you've got quite a few, so 24 in total over the 2 sides. So she did sing quite a lot for that one concert, presuming it is. Only 91 minutes, 2 sides, so obviously her songs are quite short, judging by the amount of tracks on an hour and a half. Insert wise, yep. So the same images as on the front cover. And then opening it up, some more shots from the concert potentially. And then you've got all of your lyric sheet for all of the tracks, which continues on to the back. Cool. Yeah. Akina Nakamori, and the musician is the Fantastics. Yeah, again, it'd be interesting to listen to and watch the concert footage, see if I recognise anything at all. Akina East Live. There we go. What's next? Right. The Snowman. Special introduction by David Bowie. If you've ever seen, so there was a book by Raymond Briggs that was converted in the 80s into an animated feature. And it had an introduction by David Bowie, who was pretending to be the child in The Snowman, retelling the story of when he met the snowman. Strangely, I don't know why David Bowie was involved in it, because the songs and stuff in the actual feature itself aren't done by David Bowie at all, but he was popular at the time, so they thought, why not get him in and stick him in the front of it. Yeah, it's lovely animation, a really nice family-friendly animation that's shown every year around Christmas time, as it's obviously set during the Christmas period, even though in the UK we hardly ever see snow around the Christmas period, so it's just 26 minutes in total, so it is quite a short feature. Let's have a look and see if there is anything inside it. Oh, there's something. There we go. Okay, so it's broken into 9 separate chapters, and then there was a big scene where the boy learns that the snowman can fly, and he flies him off to where the snowman lives, and it's accompanied by a rather yeah, it's not my favourite of songs. Walking in the Air is what it's called, and there is the English and the Japanese translation for that particular song. It is the only song with lyrics in the animation. And obviously it says that you can buy the book, which it is based on, and there are some other books that you can get as well, or by Raymond Briggs. When the Wind Blows from 1982, which was the one animated feature that they did after the Snowman, is a very harrowing look at the potential of an atomic bomb hitting. Yeah, it's definitely completely different from the Snowman in its theming. It's definitely not something that you would want to watch at Christmas time. But yeah, the Snowman, very light-hearted fun for Christmas. And as we are almost in December, it will be nice to watch this at Christmas time. Cool. What do we have next? Okay. Right. So this looks like a feature of some sort. Apologies, just cover that up. There's a slight bit of nudity on this cover that I wasn't obviously expecting. So here's this. It's number 2, so it's a sequel to something. Doesn't say any English on the side, unfortunately. Let's flip it over now. Well, I'm just going to check the cover first, just to right. Put some strategically placed fingers to cover up the nudity on the cover. So yeah, so this looks like potentially a samurai, maybe revenge style feature. It obviously has some nudity, which they are focusing on the cover to try and sell it. 2 sides, 80 minutes. Just looking for a year. Yeah, it might have said a year on there. Okay, right, let me just take it out of the cover off screen. See if there's anything inside it. No insert to this one. It definitely looks intriguing, interesting, and I will certainly be giving it a watch to see exactly what it's about. Obviously I will tell you at the bottom of the screen exactly what this is, but yeah, another interesting looking film that I wasn't potentially expecting. Right, what have we got now? I'm going with potentially another music-based one, art sound collage. Yeah, so it's going to be another music set to scenic pictures or scenic film. Well, it's not very long. It only has 4 chapters on here, unless they're really long tracks. Does it tell us the running length? 46 minutes. Okay, so each of these musical tracks is potentially quite long in length. Yeah, I'll have to obviously look into it to find out where these are set scene-wise, if there is any relevance to anything, and obviously who they are by. But I'll put all that information at the bottom. Right, let's have a look inside. Is there anything inside? Okay, there we go. There's a map potentially of the region where the things are filmed. That would make some sort of sense. And there is a picture of Mozart. So potentially one of the tracks, or all the tracks are set to music by Mozart. And yeah, it's suffering from a little bit of potential water damage, mould on the handout itself, but hopefully that hasn't affected the disc in any way. Ah yes, if we read the very top, it says Mozart Sound Collage, so that is for sure. It's going to be tracks by Mozart with accompanying footage. Nice peaceful scenic music, I would imagine. Okay, is this Tyrol? I mean, I can just about make that out. It seems either the cover has become faded over time, or they just chose a very bad colour combination to put on the sleeve there, because you can't really read what that says. Flip it over. Okay. Alright, I'm figuring it's something similar to what we just had. It's part of the White and Intelligent series, which is a very odd name for your collection. I'm guessing it hasn't got any implications of anything. 43 minutes, one-sided. And from 1990, 21st of the 12th, 1990. Now this one is sealed. It hasn't been opened. I mean, hasn't been opened. It's got a little bit of damage where I feel that the disc has kind of moved and sliced. But can't leave it sealed, unfortunately. We are going to have to open it up and have a look inside. Single disc and a single sheet. Okay, so this is very much like the one we were just looking at. So it obviously has a map of the region where the footage is recorded from, and some information about the musical tracks that accompany the images. And it's a single side. Obviously, because it's been sealed, it doesn't have any water damage like the previous one. It's starting to show signs of. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to let you know who the musical artist is that these images are accompanying. I'll put that to the side for now, and I'll sort it out in a bit. Don't fiddle around with it on camera. Luzerne. Again, this looks very much like the previous one, so I'm guessing it's another music to art collage. Yep, I'm going along the same lines as what we had previously. Very nice looking scenic place wherever this is filmed. And has it been opened? Nope, so it's exactly the same as the previous one. Whoever had it never bothered looking at it. It seems weird why you would purchase these things, or have these purchased for you, and not venture into them, even if they're not particularly sort of like a film or a TV show or anything, even if it is just sort of scenic to music. No reason why. And again, the accompanying section shows where it was recorded, the area it was recorded in. Luzerne might be the name of the musician, composer. I've never heard of them, but I'll let you know along the bottom what's going on with this one. Right, on to the next. Some more art sound collage. Again, still sealed. No one's bothered with this one either. 4 tracks, very similar to the first one we looked at. And there's a few in this series by the look of it, judging by some of the pictures on the Obi there. Interesting. Now, I'm guessing we can pretty much predict what's going to be on the insert, but hey, we're here, we might as well cut it open and have a look anyway. Yep, so again, the region in which the footage was filmed on, and some information about each of the tracks. Next, another one potentially. Music by Tim Heinz this time. Whatever it is number 1 of the selection. Nice little image there of a railway station. And then, oh, okay, so this is potentially footage from that railway journey through the mountains. 10 tracks. You can see unfortunately this one does have some sort of water damage and moulding on the side there. Hopefully that hasn't affected the disc itself. Now on sale, Tim Heinz, Angel Coast. So Tim Heinz must be the composer of the music that accompanies this. And then insert itself, again more shots from the train and the train journey itself. And then information about Tim Heinz himself. So he is a keyboard player. I like the way they've spelt keyboard in that translation. From 61 to 1980 he was, oh, even more, in 89. So he was probably at his peak in 87, 88, 89. So yeah, potentially footage from a train journey by accompanying keyboard music. That might be interesting to watch. Next, okay, so number 2, exactly the same, music by Tim Heinz. So this is potentially the second half of the train journey, or it could be a different train journey. All we know is that it is keyboard music by Tim Heinz with accompanying visuals. And this one is 52 minutes one-sided. Cool. Insert is here. Not the most interesting of shot they've decided to go for on that, but I guess they had a lot of space to fill, so they just found a big image they could fill the space with, and then the same information about him and tracks, etc. on there. Right, we're probably more than halfway through now. It's taken a while, almost an hour in I feel. So okay, we've got Alice in Wonderland. So this is the Disney feature, Alice in Wonderland. It's nice. Alice in Wonderland. Look at 75 minutes, two-sided, bilingual. So it may have the English version and maybe a Japanese dub. We got inside. Okay. Inside we have an advertisement for other Walt Disney Laserdiscs. So it advertises Alice because it's obviously just a standard thing. Dumbo. Got Sport Goofy's Vacation. I wonder if that's the other disc that we had earlier with Goofy, where it looked like he was doing different sports. It's potential. You got Peter Pan. More silly sympathy. Start again. More silly symphonies. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's a Goofy World. Okay, well, maybe not then. Maybe, unless that was just a different one. It's a Goofy World. Because that Winnie the Pooh one could potentially be the one that we haven't got that was featured. What else we got? Got Treasure Island, Tex, which I've never heard of, The Journey of Natty Gone, again, never heard of it, Tiger Town, never heard of it, and then Disney Golden Discs. So we've got Disney's Cartoon Jubilee, Mickey Mouse's Anniversary Show, This Is Your Life, Donald Duck, More Tales of Pluto, Mickey's Golden Jubilee, Cartoon Carousel, and Greatest Dog Stars. So these are all Laserdiscs that are available at the time. You could order from Walt Disney Home Video. There's more on the back. The Shaggy DA, never heard of it. Herbie Rides Again, heard of Herbie Rides Again. Escape to Witch Mountain, obviously heard of that. Night Crossing, I can't say I ever heard of that. And The Island at the Top of the World. It's a very interesting image of, I guess it's a god stood on top of an exploding volcano. I've never heard of that, but I am intrigued by it. Anyone heard of The Island at the Top of the World from 1974? I am certainly intrigued. Apparently we love Disney. I'm guessing the person who owned this box did, because there's been quite a few Disney discs in here, which is a nice surprise. Yes, so this would be like a mail order where you could order some of the Disney related Laserdisc products that were released, and this is the feature from what year? 1951. Alice in Wonderland. It shocks me how old some of these Disney films are, since they're all so very well known. You would have thought that a film from the 50s would have been potentially lost in time by now. Okay, Mimiko, live in Budokan. Oh, so another one in Budokan. That Princess one we had first was recorded in Budokan as well. Must be a big theatre, concert venue. Oh, very suggestive costume choice. I wonder what's going on there. There's a picture of her, I presume, when she was younger in LA. Another interesting costume choice. And then the tracks that are on here, so we have 24 in total over the two sides. From 1986. Relax, is that going to be the Frankie Goes to Hollywood song? Relax. Because, I mean, she could possibly be wearing that whilst singing that song. I'm definitely intrigued. 1986. How long is this? 95 minutes. Okay, we got anything inside? We do. Here we go. Good old lyric sheet. Let me just have a look. Relax. Yep, that is definitely the Frankie Goes to Hollywood song. An interesting choice. And I don't quite know why she's decided to sing that. Slightly suggestive. Maybe she was the Miley Cyrus of the time, where she was trying to break out of being a childhood image by doing some more sexually suggestive stuff. Potentially, I might be completely wrong. I will give this a look and let you know. Yes, Mimiko, live in Budokan. Okay, what's next in the box? Okay, so we're looking at some sort of animated film, potentially. Sanrio. Clockwork Mice. What is it? see. Oh, The Mouse and His Child is what it is called. It does look indeed like an animated feature. What we down at the bottom here. And they stuck a sticker over the top of what it said originally, changing the person who released it, I guess. Anything inside? Yeah, sadly no insert on this one. Yeah, I've not heard or seen of this animated film before. Let me know in the comments if you've heard or seen it. I'm intrigued by it. Everyone loves a bit of animated films. What's going on in this picture here? Looks a bit like a rat about to bash those mice in with a big boulder. Hopefully this isn't Watership Down vibes. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by that one. What's next? Inspiration. This is another Laserdisc sample. It's another promo disc. Czechoslovak animation. Okay, interesting. It's quite old then. 120 minutes, 4 sides. Okay, so it's 2 discs. Oh, okay. So it looks like it's a compilation of like stop animation and things, potentially. Yeah, they look a bit stop animation like, don't they? I'm intrigued by this for sure. Yeah. Inspiration, Czechoslovak animation. Very interesting. Anything inside it? Take it out. I mean, I like the protective sleeves because they do their job most of the time, but they are slightly irritating to access things. Let's have a look at the cover then. Okay. So this is obviously stills from the animated shorts. Very interesting. Oh no, we almost had a disaster then. Let me just pause and reset the box because I've knocked it over. Sorry about that, I managed to knock the box over because there's not many discs in there now, all the weight was to the back. So this is the insert from inside. And then lots of information, I presume, about the animators of each of the animations. And then some images from each of them. I like the penguins in that image there. Yeah, very interesting. Very early stop animation by the look of it. Oh yeah, so it does say the years they were released, I am figuring. So 48, 50, 52, 54, 61, 66, 70, 1980. And again 42, 64, 53 to 86. Okay, so it looks like potentially the earliest one is 1942 and the latest one is 1986, so a very broad spectrum, and I presume they are all sort of stop animation style, puppetry, etc., judging by the pictures on the cover. Wow, I'm very much intrigued by that. I like seeing old school animation and the techniques and processes that were used, so I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Right, let's try and do this without knocking the box over. Okay, best 12. Best 12, 6. Is this number 6 in a series called Best 12, or is this number 12 in a series? Who knows? All I do know is there was a very much sort of 80s style fashion designer image on the front. someone has hand drawn at some point. What is... okay. Right. I was going to say what is this, but judging by the picture of the two sort of singing birds with microphones on the back here, I'm figuring this is another laser karaoke disc. So 12 tracks on this one. Look at one-sided. It doesn't tell me the running time of this. 1986. Anything inside? You would expect there to be. There is. There's two things inside. Okay, so look at these then. Right, so this is a carry case that you can order to carry around some of your laser discs or your karaoke discs with you. And then, so best 12 must be the series, because there's 12 tracks on each disc, and then there is a number of discs, and this tells you each of the songs on a particular disc. So this one was 6, so these are the tracks from disc 6 of the series, and then there is a big sheet of all of the songs, and it tells you what disc it's on and what track it is, so you can easily find a particular song if you had all 10 best 12 discs. And then on the other sheet we have the lyrics for each of the songs. Cool. And again, it will be intriguing to watch over some of these laser karaoke discs, even if I don't, or I'm not familiar with any of the songs, just to see what videos they've recorded to accompany the tracks, because a lot of these karaoke discs didn't have the original artist's video accompanying it. They would have made their own and just used their own sort of instrumental version of the song rather than paying the actual artist for the original content. Oh, okay, so we've got best 12 number 2, so exactly the same, but obviously 12 different songs, and this is number 2 of the series. Another sort of lovely hand-drawn, very 80s style fashion design image. Next, another best 12, number 7 this time. Again, another interesting image on the front. And oh god, okay. So I thought there was only 10 in the series, however this is number 23. So I am guessing that they extended the series after the 10 original discs. So have a look at the insert in here just in case it tells us any more. Anything else? Yeah, so as you can see, it's a much larger selection of songs now. 23, 24, 30. So on this particular sheet, 30 seems to be the highest number, so there's at least 30 discs in this collection with 12 tracks on each. Imagine having to carry around a karaoke system and having 30 separate discs with 12 songs on, and having to exchange the discs for whichever tracks that people wanted to sing along to. It's quite an advanced but excessive concept when you think of how easy it is to have a karaoke system now, with everything preloaded on there and accessible at the touch of a button rather than having to swap discs around. But yeah, kind of what really started the karaoke boom was having this type of thing available for people to use in their bars and clubs, etc. Right, we're going to take another little pause now whilst I move these discs to make some room, and then we'll do the final set. Okay, so we're on the final set now. Thank you for anyone who is still watching this and has been watching for the past hour. I really appreciate the fact that you've sat through and endured, but hopefully got entertained by what I've found here. So, what is next? Banana Hill, Anna Banana. Oh, Anna Banana, depends how you would pronounce it. I'm guessing she's going with Anna Banana. This again looks like a music artist potentially, very much sort of voguing on the front, quite a lot of sort of Bananarama and Madonna vibes to this one. Okay, right, flip it over to the back. Starring Anna Banana. Again, they've chosen a very bad font and colour to display on this weird patterned background. You can't really read what's going on. Yeah. Yes, Anna Banana is the music. Also, I see what they've done. They've got a screenshot in each corner. But for some reason they've decided to invert the two at the bottom corners. Slightly confusing. 49 minutes one side. Anything inside? Yep, we do have... how garish this is. I was worried about the front cover. I guess at least you can read the green on yellow. So those are the tracks. 10 in total. I'm guessing this is... so it says video stuff, so I'm guessing this is music videos rather than a concert. All songs are arranged by Yoshinobu Hirawa. These might all be original songs by Anna Banana this time around. And then, oh no, this is the wrong choice for the back though. So these are the lyrics for each. It does look like some of the songs she is singing in English, as they have been recorded with English lyrics instead of Japanese. Girl, keep your shine, Tokyo Town, Kala Kala. Again, it'll be interesting to see how 80s-tastic these videos are, judging by the cover. It suggests that they're going to be a bit garish. So yeah, Anna Banana, and the album Banana Heel. Intriguing. Right, next. Okay, another laser karaoke disc, but of a completely different series. This is number 28. Oh no, there's 28 songs actually. Side A has 14, side B has 14. This is potentially number 15 in the series. And it does have the multi-audio, so that's what I was talking about earlier. You can have the one channel which is just the instrumental, and the second channel which has the singing accompanying it. And then there is a bulldog wearing a top hat and a school tie and glasses and standing in front of a microphone. It's an interesting image that they've gone for the cover there. I don't see what the relate. Obviously, I guess the karaoke microphone is supposed to suggest that he's doing karaoke. But yeah, I don't. Where's that image come from? Have they specially taken that for the cover of these discs, or have they just found an amusing image and stuck it on the front cover? We should probably never know, but I'm guessing that each of the ones in the series potentially has this dog on the front cover. There is advertised on the back of here 15 discs, so this is number 15. I mean, they could have extended it like they did with that other group that we were just looking at previously, but this is the last of the series at this point in time, and it doesn't have a year on it. I'm guessing it's around the late 80s. No insert on this one, so I'm afraid you've not got any lyric sheet. Luckily the lyrics will appear on screen, so you don't need it. Right, next. See this box falling off the table again in a second. Okay, another laser karaoke disc. Number 13, or 13 tracks. It's always confusing. 13 tracks. And this is number 9, I want to say, in the series. And yes, I don't know why they've chosen this topless bit of artwork for the front cover, other than to attract people to the disc itself, by a karaoke company called Twins. It's Quite a cool logo they've decided to use. And yeah, I don't see unless these karaoke videos are going to be animated, which would be an interesting way of doing it. And you've got your 13 tracks on the back. 1985, this one. Anything inside? Oh, we do have, again, that image and the 13 tracks. And then opens up. Oh, and you've got, in a very small writing, you've got all of the lyrics to each of the tracks recorded on the sheet of paper as well. Again, I don't see why, unless you're trying to learn the song without having it on the video, you would need those. But hey, another laser karaoke disc. Oh, I see the laser karaoke bird. So this parrot was the sort of pioneer laser karaoke mascot. So there is, whenever you see the word laser karaoke, it's normally accompanied by this singing parrot. Again, this is Laserdisc sample, 20 songs, volume 1. Flipping it over to the back. Okay, so these are all, they all look like English songs that potentially we've heard of. So My Way, definitely heard of that. Yesterday, if it's the John Lennon song, definitely heard of that. Strangers in the Night, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Everybody Loves Somebody. Moon River, Can't Help Falling in Love. Stand By Me Like a Virgin. Greatest Love of All. Singing in the Rain. Take Me Home, Country Roads. Yep, so all of these are English songs. So it will be interesting to see whether they're sang in Japanese or whether they're sang in English. This is potentially the first disc I've had that actually has English tracks on the karaoke disc. Yeah, that's kind of cool in itself. 88, two-sided disc. They don't have the running time on these. Anything inside? Wow. Nice big thick leaflet with the English translated words. Yep. So, I mean, a lot of these songs people know off the top of their head, so they wouldn't need to look up the words for, especially songs like My Way and Yesterday, but nice to see a selection of English songs that I will potentially be aware of and know the words to. Could actually use this karaoke disc if I was really wanting to. Right, cool. So we've had quite a few laser karaoke discs in this set, so I'm wondering if the person who had these originally maybe owned a bar and had like a karaoke machine, or whether it was just someone that had a few at home for a bit of fun during a party. I mean, luckily luckily the 40 discs aren't just all 40 from a laser karaoke series, because that would be slightly disappointing. But right, what's this? Iyazawa, The History of Ikichiyazawa. Okay. It's got a very sort of psychedelic cover to it. Here is Iyazawa, 1975, 1976, 1977, 1978, and 1982. I'm guessing this is like a greatest hits for a musical artist, potentially. Let's have a look at the insert. There we go. So that answered my question. I'm guessing that is the man himself. Looks a bit sort of James Brown like in the image. I wonder if he's a bit rock and roll, maybe. Yeah, lots of pictures and like a timeline of the music that he's done over a certain period of time, ranging from, I guess he was born in 49 up until 1984. So again, yeah, The Rock one, yeah, he must have been a potential big sort of rock star of the time in the sort of 70s and 80s. Yes. Iyazawa. Interesting. Again, I've said interesting for quite a lot of these because it's all a learning curve, really. If it's stuff that you haven't encountered before or aren't aware of, it's always fun to learn and see new things, experience things that you haven't necessarily seen or heard before. And a lot of these discs are certainly that. Okay, that's what we've got. So it looks like there's only a couple of discs left now. Okay, so another Iyazawa Tokyo Night. So this might be a live concert one. This suggests, though, looking at the back, it looks like it might be more music videos actually, judging by the sort of screenshots on the back there. I might be completely wrong, but it suggests more music videos than concert. Tokyo Night might have been the name of the album that the tracks were used on. What have we got inside? So, 4 images. I guess they all have the same guy? I'm guessing so. And then your lyric sheet inside with all of your lyrics on. And information about each of the songs. Okay, North Shore. North Shore. Is this another one like the first one that we got, which is a bit sort of like music set to water sports? That's kind of what this suggests. No, actually, I don't know actually. It looks like an actual film, judging by the way that they've put the, yeah. Looks like a film that's based around surfing. So whoever had these discs obviously had an interest in surfing and water sports, etc. I don't know who the people are that are in this film. By looking at the images or the names, I don't recognise them. I mean, something makes me think I've heard of the name Matt Atler before, but I couldn't tell you, unfortunately, what or from where. 1987, 96 minutes over 2 sides. Anything inside? Yep. Some slip of paper. North Shore and the cast list. Information about the film and what's going on each of the chapters, so you can skip to a certain scene that's what you wanted to do. I've not heard of North Shore before. It's definitely a film because it's got some other discs available. A film called Casual Sex, Rumblefish, and The Breakfast Club. Yeah, I've not heard of North Shore. Anyone who has heard of it wants to leave a comment about it in the comment section. Right, this looks like our final disc. So our final disc is From Wings Came Flight. So another Laserdisc promo sample disc that was given to someone at some point in time. And this looks like parachuting, paragliding, aerial acrobatics. What is this? From Wings Came Flight. Chapter list. Dedication, I am the diver. Flight, Osaka, power dive. Crown with the top down. Endless sky. Sky dance, run with the wind. Jumping till the sun goes in. Picture me and Hawk's Desire. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is another music to footage of parachuting and aerial acrobatics. That's what I'm going with. It doesn't look like a film as such, but it has a suggestion that it's similar to the water sports one previous. Let's have a look at the image on the front. There we go. So, from Wings Came Flight. And then some information about each of what I presume is the songs or music that accompanies the footage on each of the chapters. Okay. Again, nothing I would say in here hasn't been interesting. Some of it is obviously more interesting and cooler than others, and some of it's just going to be interesting from a point of view of having it in the collection and being able to view it once and possibly put it to the side and not ever look at it again. And some of it might have, highlighted some artists and stuff, and Japanese artists that I've not heard of before that I would be intrigued to hear more about. So yeah, in all, there was 40 discs there, as I said, some of which are more impressive than others, some of which are more interesting than others, but certainly I will look over all of them and give them all a watch, even if it is just a small portion, just to get a taster of what they're about. They're all going to go into my collection regardless of what they are and how interesting they are to me. Thank you all for watching and putting up with an hour and a half of pretty much unedited footage of me going through all 40 of those discs. I hope you have found it entertaining, and as always I only have one last thing to say, and that is arigatou gozaimasu, and I will see you on the next video.